Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House, first episode of 2020. Every week I have a different special guest come on, and they give us just a fun, trippy tour of their weird, surreal, Rick and Morty Adventure Time style imaginary house. It's personal. It's adults getting to use their imagination. It's no holds barred riffing. It's the only NSFW real estate podcast in the world. And I just have a blast with it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This week, this is the first episode of the year, and I just want it to be a special one. My guest is my wife, Liz. It's pretty exciting because she's the best, and I wanted it to be special. So, and it was. It was really fun, and we riff together. We're both a couple of goofballs, so we had fun. It starts off serious with us talking about her specialties in child development, and then we get into the fantasy house, and things start getting goofy. And I hope you guys enjoy it. This episode is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, the only realtor in Southern California. Don't worry, I got this. If you're thinking about buying a house, selling a house, investing in multifamily apartment buildings, whatever it is, I would love to be of service. So hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Why not? That's what I always say. Let's do it. All right, guys. Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this.
Won't you take it all around over to your fantasy house? Your host with the most experience guest in your fantasy house. Get all the money for expensive construction. The only limit is your imagination.
Hi, I'm Liz. I am John's wife. I am a child development specialist.
What the hell is that, Liz? Damn it, Liz! What is that? What is that, babe?
Specialize in children.
I said babe on the podcast. I don't think I've ever said that to a guest. What is that, babe?
Well, that's because I'm your wife.
That's right. All
I
right.
hope you didn't say that to anyone else.
That's right. All my guests are my babe. No, babe. No, Liz. Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's weird when you call me Liz.
I know.
I guess that's going to be weird either way.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Specialize in children. I used to work with children for close to 20 years, and now I teach people how to work with children because I'm an adjunct professor.
You're a junkie professor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what is child development? Because it's a vague term to people that aren't in the industry. I used to not even know how to explain it when people are like, what's your wife do? I'm like, she knows a lot about kids and works with kids and then teaches people how to work with kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a science. It's like being a doctor, really. Yeah. Everyone should know about child development.
That's why I always call you Dr. Liz.
Anyone who wants children should take a child development class. It's a science. You learn about the brain, the body. You learn about social emotional development.
What is it? Social what?
Social emotional development.
What's that one?
A very important one.
Well, tell us. Explain.
Your social and emotional intelligence, like how to become a person in this world with social and emotional competence, basically. We're teaching children how to deal with their feelings and emotions and how to raise adults who understand, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to have all of those feelings, but how to deal with them and cope with them in a way that is healthy.
There are people like, I don't know, I'm sure you've encountered this because we've encountered this together in interacting with certain people that are even in our own family. They're like, they feel like the book's already written on kids. And so when you have like maybe like a educated, a perspective on, this is how you can interact with your kids properly, or this is how we should be talking to children. And they kind of, I know you've seen this because we've had this before where they are like, you guys, hippies, and you're like, that's
okay. Well, first of all, that's why I say it's a science, and science is always evolving, right?
That's
you would never say that about medicine, where you're like, that's it. The book was written and then now it's closed. Like it's constantly evolving, right?
Yep.
And then there are people who, I was just talking to someone about this the other day. It's called your conscious discipline, where you fall back on how you were raised or how you raised your children, and they feel very threatened when you try to teach them something.
Yep.
And so their own ego and their conscious discipline is threatened, and conscious discipline really is a discipline for yourself and how to like check in with yourself on how to work with children and yourself, basically. But they feel threatened and they don't want to move forward and understand like, maybe I did do something that wasn't 100% great.
Yeah, it's like they're almost like they were a parent a long time ago, and they're like, back in my day, if a kid was bad, you spanked them, and you're like,
Right.
well, actually, we found that it does. You don't know anything, you kids. And you're like,
People think that just because they popped out a kid that they're like an expert, and that's absolutely not true. That's why I say everyone needs to take a child development class, even like when you're pregnant. You take like Lamaze classes on how to breathe, but for me, I didn't take any of that. I am focused more on like, how do I raise this child once it pops out of me, and we don't focus on that. And so people just think like just because they pop out a kid that they're an expert.
Just teach them not to touch hot stuff, and not to steal, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into it, but people don't know that, and they think that just because they had a child that they're an expert. And I mean, I get it. Like everyone, it's not that they did it wrong, but there is definitely like a science to it, and like how your brain develops and your entire body develops. Like it's your emotional intelligence, all of it. Like.
So like if people are listening, if my listeners are checking this out and they're going like, like what's the one thing I can do when I become a parent or a parent? I'm already a parent. It's a parent. I'm a parent. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, this child development specialist is here, like what's the one thing you could tell them to
do your research? Like if anything, like if you're
how do you do your research though, babe? You look on the internet and you're like, oh, everybody has different opinions.
Well, look at the science. Like if you know how to like properly look at research and like what is backed up by theory, and I mean in child development there's many theories and there's philosophies. So you pick, I mean there's obviously many different ways to raise children. Mm-hmm. So what I teach mostly is the Rye philosophy. And
the Rye philosophy?
Yeah.
Which it means what?
Respectful. It's respectful parenting, respectful caregiving.
I really wanted to put a rye bread joke in there, but you
can.
Thanks, babe.
But you do your research. It's just like any other thing you do in life, and people just think like.
But research can be overwhelming. So, like, let's say I'm a listener to the Fantasy House podcast. Like, I don't have time for research.
Oh, so you want specific?
Like, no, not specific. Well, yeah, specifically, but simplify.
Take a child development class. Start from there.
Most people aren't gonna have time to do that, though, Liz. You got to be like, give them like one tip. Well, like, what's one tip when you look at your child or you have a child and you go like, what can I do better? Like, because you've taught me things. You've taught me things.
Yes, but
like,
that's hard because I've done my research and I've worked in this field for years and years. And I think the one thing you could do, you're listening to a podcast right now. There's a podcast called Janet Lansbury Unruffled. Her whole term is elevating childcare. Okay. Listen to a podcast.
Janet Lansbury.
Unruffled. And you can find whatever topic you want on how to like deal with children, raise children. Yes. But like,
I just want our listeners to know if Liz sounds like she's mad, she's not mad at you as a listener.
I'm passionate.
She's passionately mad at her husband.
Passionate, but really, like I can't give
babe.
you a quick, easy tip on how to raise a child because it's not that simple.
But you've given me easy tips on how to raise a child.
I've done my research. I'm just saying, like it requires you to like invest in your children and do research. And so, if you need resources, there's one resource.
Okay, the Janet Lansbury podcast, Unruffled. So that
you can follow her on social media as well, and she has many great like tips and quotes, which I used to do, right? But like she is just like the top of the top, like the goddess of respectful parenting and how to quickly get like the answer you need.
So one of the things that I feel like you taught me that was like a really good, simple thing that I always remember is respect children. Like, and
exactly,
it's a vague thing, but it is a simple note that when you're talking to a kid, respect that they're like, there's this old fashioned, remember in the old days, like the old guys like animals don't feel pain. You're like, just because they don't verbally have a linguistic skill to be like, ow, this hurts, they feel pain.
Exactly.
And so like that's for animals, but then there's also that old school style of like kids don't know what's going on because they don't talk. And it's like, and then you showed me like respecting them, meaning to put that phrase into action, meaning like, oh, my kid's like not like my kid is having a tantrum. It doesn't mean just be like, go to your room till you're done acting like that. The kids have thoughts, and you respect them by engaging with them and saying, hey, like, because that's one of the scariest things for me. Like when our first son started having tantrums, I was just like, okay, I'm freaking out. It's like working in a mental ward at a hospital, and you were really calm.
It's harder to check in with yourself and how it's making you feel on the inside. And so people kind of go the easy route. It's easy in the moment where you're just like, you discipline them for having an emotion versus like,
that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
You dare. I got spanking.
This is your conscious discipline. You take a deep breath and you realize like, I need to discipline myself to understand like this is a healthy, normal behavior.
Tantrums are normal. The devil is not inside your child.
Right. And you respect that. You can validate their feelings, let them have their feelings. If you stop them from having their feelings, it just
makes them smoke crack when they turn 15.
And it makes it worse because they will not learn how to deal with those emotions. And so you're going to continue to deal with tantrums when you can, I'm not going to say easily, but because it's not easy, that's why a lot of people choose to kind of go the route where it's just like end this quickly. But
it is crazy, babe. For like you worked in child development for so long at the school, and you've
what school?
UCLA.
Where did I work?
Was that your plug?
Infant Development Program, IDP.
Izzle dizzle pizzle. You got that, and you were around it. Honestly, it's like working with someone that worked in a mental ward or worked in a prison, and you're just used to that stuff. And it's my first day, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I want to cry when my kid's crying. I get like emotional. It makes me uncomfortable.
And that's okay. It's not wrong of you to feel those feelings.
I appreciate that. See, you're using the tactics on me. But then from learning from you, like it's okay that they're feeling like that, and you can validate their feelings and let them know, like when our first son was having a tantrum and you weren't there and I'm taking care of him, instead of freaking out and be like, oh my God, something's terribly wrong, realizing like, oh, it's normal for any healthy kid will have this tantrum and still can be a totally functioning adult. It's normal for them to have a tantrum. And then I would say to him like, okay, bud, like when you're feeling better, I'm here to talk. It's okay. And just kind of making sure that he knew that he's still loved. And like, yeah, you're having a tantrum. I just don't want you, just don't kick and they kick real hard at their heels on the ground. You're like, be careful.
Because at that point they can't hear you.
They can't hear you.
So they're in their brainstem.
They're off in some weird spot.
In their brainstem. So that's not.
What's that mean? In their brainstem?
Your brain is layered. It's tiered. It's in a tiered. Like you go from
like
your brain.
A fantasy house that's shaped like a brain.
Your brainstem's like your basic functions, right? Like you're eating, you're breathing, you're shitting, right? And then it's true. And it's like
that's a real rap lyric. You're eating, you're breathing, you're shitting.
Everything's like a tier, and then you go up to like your social competence, and then like your self-actualization, right? There's like tiers of your brain and like able to comprehend and understand stuff. Well, they're not at the level of their brain where they're able to like take stuff in and understand. They're in their brainstem. So when they're having a tantrum, you don't just sit there and try to rationalize with them, because that's not going to happen. You have to sit there and let them have those feelings. And then when they're calm and collected, then you talk about what's going on, because they're in the state where they're able to, in their brain, understand what's happening and take that information in.
So even when they're super, super young and they can't even talk,
right,
they're still having all those crazy intense thoughts and a bunch of stuff going on. So the respect part, just coming back around, is to realize like just because they can't communicate it verbally yet in their head or to you doesn't mean they're not having complex thoughts and needing to be guided through their bad acid trip, basically.
Yeah.
It's similar to being an anchor to someone when they're tripping out on mushrooms and you're like, uh-oh, she's having a hard time.
Right.
And you're like, hey, I'm here for you. All is well.
But just also like even when they're not having their bad times, like just respecting them as a human. So like one of the basic functions that we talk about is like when you go to like wipe a nose or, check a diaper, like you're respecting them as a human. And you're not just like coming up from behind and like swiping the tissue across their nose.
Like how people objectify them like cattle.
Right.
And
because
like,
they think
hey,
like,
that's a person.
like,
it's just a baby and I'm the boss. And it's like, well, that baby's a human being.
Understanding
Respect
that they
them.
still have those like thoughts and feelings and like emotions that we do. It's just because they can't express it the same way. To respect that.
I think those are good tips for like a simple tip. Like if we wrap that up into like a little package, it's like respect them, pay attention, don't panic as the adult. They're just a little person, and you owe it to them to just be cool and respect them as a person, and not
exactly.
Don't fall the trap of like classifying them in your brain as just like they're just little objects. They haven't even earned the right yet. Right? Mm-hmm. Is that good?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we?
Even if they're newborns, like infants as well, toddlers, you can translate it into like adolescent years too. So yes.
Now, how do you feel about spanking?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Spanking. Mm-hmm. Wait, are you seriously asking me? Obviously, like that goes against everything we just talked about.
No, not to children.
Okay.
Spanking
Let's move it along.
Okay. Oh, Liz.
Mm-hmm.
What's the geographic location of your fantasy house?
Oh my God, geographic location.
Yeah, like if we were flying a drone over.
Somewhere where there's lots of greenery and animals, like...
The rainforest?
I don't know about the rainforest. That sounds a little scary.
Right? So you got to be more specific. Greenery and what kind of animals?
Okay, well, I really liked like Pennsylvania when I went there. Like I loved how green it was and how like there are fireflies at night, which is like glitter in the sky. So somewhere like that. I haven't been to a lot of places like outside of the US other than like we did our one Europe trip.
Yeah.
But I don't know like what Greenland or all those other beautiful countries might look like. But That's a hard one geographically. Like,
But this is in a fantasy world, so you can have whatever you want. Like, you can
okay,
have
so
any-
wherever it's green and the fireflies glow like glitter, and there's animals that you could just like walk up to and like feed, and everything's beautiful. That's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, and that place is just it's in your mind and in your heart. So it doesn't have to be an actual
Okay,
physical location on Earth. It's fantasy, so it can be Liz World. Liz Land.
that's where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Because guess what my house would be?
What? That's what I want to know. That's the
A
next.
giant flower, a daisy.
What? The house itself would be a giant daisy.
Yeah, and
That's
the door
super
would
rad.
be the middle, and every petal is a different like wing of the house where you could go and like do shit.
Do shit.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true adjunct
So-
professor. Where you can like go and do shit.
Hopefully my students are listening to this. They're like, oh my God.
Oh my god.
I just recommend Fantasy House, like at the end of my class, like, and just go listen to Janet Lansbury and Jon Shefsky's Fantasy House.
You fucking better be doing that. You better have your students listen. If I don't have a new review by the end of this episode released, there's gonna be hell to pay at your college.
All right.
Okay, so it's a giant daisy. Every room,
Every
every petal is a different room.
right
So where's the front door of your giant daisy?
in the middle,
Okay,
right in the middle, and there's like kind of like an arch, like bridge to get up to the petal. So it's like a giant daisy in the middle of like this beautiful greenery with animals and fireflies, and then like. Do I sound very like hippie or girly right now?
don't worry about how you sound. I'm listening. I'm excited.
Okay.
This is great.
That's how you enter, is through the middle. What is that called? What is the middle of a daisy called?
The part where the stamen's at, the center. Man, I'm a bad flower lover. I love flowers too. How do I not know?
Yeah.
I just say, the part where the stamen springs from.
Yes.
The center of the daisy. How do we not know this? What's the matter with us?
I don't know. Someone out there's like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, someone's listening, driving right now, and they're just like a botanist that loves Fantasy House, and it's just like, John, you fucking idiot, and
We
your
could
dumb
probably
wife.
just open the door and be like, Josh Looper, what is it?
That's our reality show. Meet the dummies. And you're like, hi, I'm a professor of child development. I like flowers.
Child development. I don't talk about flowers a lot, all right?
Yeah. Or as I always say, I didn't go to college for flowers.
That's right. I did not.
Okay, so we're in the center of the daisy is where you enter into the door. Is the whole center a giant door? Or is it like a little door in there, like a regular door?
I like that, though. I didn't even think about that, but I like that. Yes,
Be a
the
huge
whole
door.
center. That's awesome.
But, okay, cool. I like that you just said, no, I want, and we shall have.
The whole thing opens.
Okay. And then, so when you go inside, let's go into one of those petals. Where's the kitchen petal? What's it look like?
I actually didn't have a kitchen petal because the petal related to food is like whatever you are craving, sushi, like the best Italian food. Like you just walk in and immediately like you're where you want to be for food.
Okay, so what's it look like though? If I'm inside this petal and we're waiting for obviously I'm going for sushi. You probably can't make up your mind, Italian or sushi, huh? What are you feeling right now?
Italian.
You go Italian right now.
Good Italian.
Yeah, of course. That's what do you think?
Carly, 'cause we had sushi
What do you think? I'm a mediocre or bad Italian, babe? Come on.
No, I know.
I only like Italian if it's like really good. Otherwise, I'm just like, whatever.
Oh, I know.
Because I'm a picky Italian eater.
I know.
You'll eat any kind of pasta, or you're just like, whatever.
I do.
You just love
It's
it,
cheap, easy, and delicious.
just like me.
Yep.
Okay, so okay, babe, so yeah, I'm inside a petal, right? The food petal. So it's not even called a kitchen because it's just like a
I didn't even-
Willy Wonka-esque, like just appearing whatever you want. Is it magic or is it tech?
It's like magic because you just kind of like imagine what you're craving, and then you walk in and it's like immediately just turns into like that thing.
Okay.
Although cooking is great too, though. So.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice process, right? Cooking stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, but what's it look like inside of a petal?
Every petal's different.
Okay, so I'm inside that magic room waiting for my food. I want my sushi.
Well, so like you
Scallops
just
right now.
Well, I guess in that case, yeah,
Sea bass.
you are comfortable whether it's whatever you want it to be at the time. So like it could be
Interesting.
like socializing like restaurant style, or it could be like single alone, like just a couch with a TV, and like you are served what you want to eat.
I hate eating in front of the TV. I would probably have
Oh, I like it.
the episode where we fight.
But I don't always like it though. That's the thing. You get to choose. Like sometimes I want to go out and like have like a candlelit dinner and like be romantic and like socialize with other people. And sometimes I just want to be alone and like binge Netflix and stuff my face.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right?
You don't ever feel like that?
Something about my wife, she likes to Netflix and chill, and she literally wants to chill.
I cannot be alone. Yeah, I can't be alone on that. Come on.
I think a lot of people love to drink wine and have a bunch of cats and just eat by themselves.
That sounds amazing.
Kind of a natural need,
Right.
for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to another pedal.
Okay, so I do have a pedal where you can design your house. Like, you get bored. Like when I was a teen, like I would rearrange my room all the time, right?
I used to like to do that too. Yeah.
And like I'd like map it out and be like, this is where my bed's gonna go. This is where my dresser is gonna go.
Would you draw it on a paper?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
You put the plans down and everything.
now I'm gonna sound super blonde, and I'm gonna tell you. Remember in Clueless? Do you remember Clueless, where like she got to choose her wardrobe on a computer, and then like her wardrobe would like flip around, and then like her outfit would just like be there?
No, but can I say that Nate Hurd, Master Nate,
Did he reference this too?
he had like his closet had something like that. So I just think I think it's cute that my
Okay.
wife and my road dog Nate both.
Sorry, Nate, I did not know that. But hey, we good minds think alike.
That's right.
But not for my wardrobe. Funnily enough, it's for like the design of your house. So like you get sick of like a room or the way something looks. Like for us, like our kitchen, I'd be like, "Beer," like this is what I want. Like I want a blue island, and I want a stainless steel fridge, and I want this, and like you would just like do it on a computer, and then like boom, like it would be done.
That's awesome. So you could change stuff in your house. So your
Yeah.
fantasy house has you're excited about the variety and the change and the new stuff in your own fantasy house.
Like people do that. Like they go on like different websites or like Instagram or whatever, and they see like, oh, I love that kitchen, or like I love that bathroom, and then like you could just like on a computer go like boop 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 boop, and then like everything aligns.
I was actually just looking in the MLS today at a sale in Laverne, like of a house that just went up on the market, and obviously I look in MLS to just see what's available and what the inventory is in my area, and they had like a turquoise for the cabinets,
Oh yeah.
and they had a colored rug in front of it, and I was just like, oh, because so much like modernized like kitchens nowadays, people go for obviously flip houses, they do gray and whatnot. But I saw a turquoise, like the lower cabinets were I think both you and I have like that's really fun. It's exciting. It's like that we both have
The
similar
backsplash tiles
Yeah,
where
we-
I'm like, no subway tiles. Like I want like
actual Spanish
fun,
tiles or
yes.
something, or at least Spanish on the ground or something. I don't know.
Some sort of like funky like character that you walk in and like a pop of color. Like we definitely agree on that.
Yeah. So okay, and you just made me think of that, and I was like, I saved
Well,
it. Actually, I saved it to send to you because I was
You
like,
probably
all
see it
stoked.
all. You see it all the time because that's now your job. But I think about that because like where you get bored and you're like, and it just reminds me of when I was a teen and I was like, I want to rearrange my room, and then you get really happy because it's different. And you just like instantly do that.
Okay, that's very cool. Take us to the next pedal. Hey, lady, take us to the next pedal.
Well, like I said, I love food and drink, so there is an inebriation room where you can kind of just you laugh while you laugh.
It's funny, man. I'm excited. It's so funny.
Whatever kind of inebriation you want. So you walk in and you like,
Heroin.
sure, man, if that's your poison. I don't know.
Wow, babe, I totally didn't think you were going to go. I thought you'd be like, okay, man.
It's an inebriation room.
Wow.
So whatever you feel like you need. I have never done heroin. I will say that right now. For me, I'm thinking, I'm like, come on, like you want a good bartender, right? Like you think about like the best times where you like just go and like you could like put all your problems aside, like kind of like how you check your hat and your coat at the door.
Yeah.
Like you check your problems at the door.
Check your problems at the door.
Yeah.
Kind of like you check your hat and coat.
Exactly.
My name's Liz, and this is my
Take your
inebriation
brain out
room.
and you get inebriated and you have a good ass time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next pedal over is the hydration room because you're gonna need that.
That's for our listeners, that everyone who's done any other drugs besides alcohol knows that Liz has only ever done alcohol, because
Wow.
your idea of like after inebriation you got to get hydrated is like, oh, you're a drinker.
You don't need that after like any other
yeah,
drug.
but like a lot of stuff doesn't give you hangovers the way alcohol does. A lot of stuff doesn't beat your body up from the inside like alcohol does. So you don't need. Well, you do. I mean, you always need hydration though. Like if we had like a message from our sponsors, it'd be like, "Stay hydrated," or what do you call it? Public service announcement on Fantasy House. Stay hydrated is pretty much everyone.
And even like when you feel like you're getting a cold, and you can just go and get like your B12 shot and like get hydrated, like
Oh, I thought you were going to say
poisoning.
I thought you said they go get a hot toddy in the inebriation room.
I'm drinking a hot toddy right now.
Are you really? Mm-hmm. Oh wow! Thanks for offering me one, babe.
Sorry, you're on the
No,
job.
I'm fasting. Yeah, I'm fasting.
Oh, he's eating air today.
I'm fasting,
so-
and I have to go back to the office, so I'm on coffee and water. Okay,
Cool.
okay. So the inebriation room. What does it look like in there? Paint the picture for us visually.
Okay, so that's hard because it's just like the food room where it's like whatever it caters to your needs. So like if you feel like you need like
all right, Bill Gates with your adjusting house, but like what's it look like now while you're giving the tour to the fantasy house? It's me and the camera guy and the sound guy.
So it's like
our
Cheers,
producer
where you
lady.
walk in and everybody knows your name, and you just walk in and it's like you sit down and the bartender either gives you.
Oh, there's a bartender in the inebriation room?
Well, it can be. I guess I call him a bartender because I don't know what else to call him. It's someone who serves you, like
be a
whatever.
shaman.
Okay, a shaman. Yeah,
Right.
I guess it's dependent on your needs. And then you just feel like super comfortable and relaxed, and like your problems are checked at the door, and you just have a good ass time, right?
Ass time.
Yeah. So I just imagine like really dim lit lights and like just a beautiful ambiance, and like it smells good and it's relaxing. Pillows, you just lay down.
That's like our living room, but like
Fluffy pillow. I don't know, man. No, there's no kids. No kids are allowed in this room. I actually don't know if I have a room for kids. What does
your
that
whole
say
fantasy
about
house is like, well, first thing is if you're under 25 years old, you're not allowed in.
That's actually possibly true.
I'm just joking, man. Okay. Well, this is, the person who invented this fantasy house has got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, so it's totally understandable. Okay, so we go to the hydration room. We're hydrated now. I just had a nice tall glass of lavender tea.
Yeah. But it's like a cool hydration room. Like, we go to Vegas and like there's like, what are those like oxygen things? And like, it's just everything you can imagine. Like you put that shit up your nose and you're like
the oxygen
IVs
thing?
in your arm and like drinks being served. Like it is
That's
not
hydration.
just like,
I don't want
give me my tea.
IVs.
I know you would pass out.
Yeah, dude. As soon as that needle comes out, I don't even touch my skin with it. I'm just like,
If you've ever been dehydrated and go to the doctor and they give you an IV, dude, you feel better within
that's
like
true.
20,
That
30
time I got
minutes.
food poisoning, but I did pass out like 4 times when they gave me the IV. But
Because you're a pussy. But if you're a normal person and you...
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Can you get in trouble for cursing as a professor, babe? Like, could someone listen to this and be like, she cursed?
I lost my job because of
Could that happen?
I don't think so.
Right? I don't know. I don't know what the square
I'm
world
not,
is like.
I'm not saying
I work
where
in
I
real
work.
estate with
I'm not
rock and
going to say where I
rollers.
work then. There you go. You just lost that. I'm not going to... That's not a thing.
Okay. So, on the next Fantasy House, Jon Shefsky gets called a pussy by his wife.
Yeah.
I
that's
know. I'm trying. There's certain things that like everyone's got their, what do they call it? Their kryptonite and stuff like that. Like needles are just needles and surgery. Just keep it all away from me.
I mean, surgery makes sense. I've never been actually put under and opened up like that, but needles do not bother me.
It scares me. Ugh. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So what's the next room, babe? Take us to the next room.
Okay, so obviously there's a library.
Okay.
And I'm sure
Why do you say it
someone-
like that?
Because I always envision the Beauty and the Beast library, right? But when you're reading and you want to like instantly go to that portal of like what like in your mind where you're reading, it's like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where you like go in the closet and like you're instantly there. Like you just get to like go and experience it.
I think we're still in the inebriation room.
That could be true.
We've never even left.
Could be true.
So what book would you show us? Like if we're here with the film crew and my producer, like what are you going to...
That's hard because, okay, a lot of the
No
books,
one said this was going to be easy, Elizabeth.
well, a lot of the books I like are not like science fiction, even though that would be like the cooler places to go. But like, okay, so I love like reading about like Jane Goodall. I love like biographies or like self-help books.
Yeah.
But dude, if I was reading a Jane Goodall book and I just wanted to go like shake her hand or like be in like Gombe with her, like in Africa and like watch the chimpanzees, that's where I would go.
That's awesome. That would be fun to go there with you right now.
Yeah.
We could finally have our 3-way with Jane.
Oh, she's like 90, maybe 80. I'm sorry,
Whatever.
Jane.
Whatever. You talk about celebrity crushes.
Jane
Jane.
Goodall.
Jane, are you there?
Well, she's
You
my
listening?
celebrity crush. She's
man.
amazing.
She is pretty rad. Okay. Now we need to go back to the hydration room after our 3-way with Jane.
Okay.
Now where do we go?
This conversation. Oh my god.
Where are we going now, babe?
Okay, well, obviously there's like a spa, right, where you can go and as a woman get your nails done, get your hair done, like just full on relax.
Guys, go there too, babe. This is 2020.
Guys, that's true.
I've got my toenails done with you before. They massaged my calves.
That's true. Okay,
I've
guys are
gone twice
welcome.
with
Men are welcome.
Thank you.
Um,
Is there a bathroom here? I gotta go.
so there's a bathroom,
Thank you.
and it does not have black porcelain. Everything is white. And
Can I just let our listeners know that she's referring to? So we got our house. We got an amazing deal on our house, but that's because there were definitely. I wouldn't say it's not a fixer upper. It's not a full tear down remodel, but there's things about our house that are other buyers definitely passed it up. Like we have in our upstairs bathroom. We have a black toilet. Well, we used to until your awesome husband got you a brand new birthday present, brand new toilet. But it used to have a black porcelain toilet. We have a black pedestal sink, very 1920s metro. It's just disgusting, and a black bathtub, and it's just. Oh yeah, it's just hideous and disgusting. But we love our house and we are grateful for it.
We just dream of the day where like white porcelain is a thing and black porcelain is forever gone. So yes, in my
we got the toilet gone. We just got to get the pedestal sink and we got to get the bathtub redone.
Yes.
So okay, that's now our listeners know what's up. Go back to it.
Beautiful black backsplash, like we've talked about already. Just like you walk in and it's just like sunny and beautiful. Oh, but like obviously the lighting makes you look amazing because obviously, as a woman, you're like that scary lighting is terrifying. So
what's good lighting for a woman in the bathroom?
It's a good question. I mean, I always go just by sunlight. I really hate the bright lights we have because it's like a weird.
I like those lights. Like I like the
like
what do you call those lights when you're in when they're doing your makeup at a like especially in the old days like in the theater.
I don't like those lights. Like the big mirrors with like the light that like it's like a neon light that flashes on you. I don't know if it's because it
not
brings
neon. I don't like really cold light, but like warm like orangey light looks so good.
Yeah, like dim romantical lighting. Obviously,
did you say dim romantical?
Yeah, like that's beautiful, but not for a bathroom. I feel like for a bathroom for me,
candlelight.
No, I like natural sunlight. I like the natural light. So I feel like a lot of natural light. I don't know. I'm not the type of woman who puts her makeup on in like those big mirrors that have the flashy lights at you. Like I don't put our lights on in the bathroom. I go by the sunlight. Unless it's like a really dark day, then I have to put the lights on. But
just so our listeners know, my wife's totally gothic. She dyes her hair black and wears only black makeup and
emo.
white. You're so emo. Emo and gothic are two different things, Liz. God, you're so out of touch.
Oh, I really am.
Yeah. She's wearing a Darth Vader mask right now, just so you guys know. Yeah. All right. What's the bathtub look like in that bathroom?
Oh, it's giant.
How big is giant? Give us some footage.
Okay, well, I'm 5 foot. I almost said 6'5". I am not 6'5".
I climb up you with a ladder. 6'5".
I'm 5'6", and I don't fit in any standard bathtub. So a bathtub that will fit a 5'6" woman, where I could relax with a glass of wine. And okay, we used to have that bathroom with the jet tubs, the bubbles. You just push a button and the bubbles come out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want that back. Where I don't have to like decide if my knees are going to pop out or my tits are going to pop out. I just want to be able to have everything underwater.
I'm the same way, dude. I love when you're sitting in a bath. Like I'm taller than you, so when I squeeze into our bathtub because I love baths and I take them even in a small bath. But yeah, you feel like you're in one of those. What is it like the old 1800s when people were like in a barrel?
Yeah,
like a half cut barrel, and they're like scrubbing their.
You're in
back
like the fetal position trying to take a bath.
And you're grateful for it. You're like, the water's hot. I'm not being shot at right now, so things are good. Things are good.
Yeah, that's my life now. But you
want a bigger bath. We have a normal sized bathtub. It's just not a big
exactly.
bathtub.
And I'm not like an ogre. Like I'm not like that tall. 5'6".
No one's calling you an ogre, Liz. This isn't Fantasy House. This isn't Legion of Skanks. Okay. This is Fantasy House, Liz.
Anyway, the bathtub is big enough to fit my tits and my knees, where I could just easily spread out.
Oh, I can't wait till we have an architect or a contractor in here actually helping us with our bathtub, and that's what you tell them.
Oh yeah, you know those little walls, the little like what are they called? Like bartender walls at a kitchen where you open it up. It's like a little square and you can like pass things through. Well, you'll have that in the bathtub and you have a little bartender that you're like, excuse me, I would like a refill on my red.
Are you talking about a dumbwaiter where like an elevator goes down? And
no.
You're talking about a barn door?
No, they're little. And I've seen them in kitchens before, like on, like House Hunters or whatever, where it's like a square and then like you can pass things
like
from the kitchen to the outside.
Yeah, some snacks to your kids while they're playing, but you don't have to go anywhere.
Right. I don't know what that's called.
I got to figure out what that's called.
Okay, so you would have that in your bathtub and you could just be like, I want a refill on my red or my white, or like, give me a shot of tequila. And they would be like, sure.
Who are they?
They wouldn't see you. They're like non-existent people, but it would come to you.
Okay, that's pretty weird.
Whatever. It's
like, I'm going to take a bath and my ghost is going to bring me some Cabernet.
It's my fantasy house. You said I could go wherever I wanted.
I know, but I also reserve the right to
I don't want some peepers looking at me, but I want someone passing me a drink. Okay?
Yeah, you're like taking a bath and then my head pops through. Can I get you anything? You're like, okay, just
Yeah,
give me a glass of wine.
I want to be alone. I don't want anyone looking at me, but I want someone serving me. Okay.
The best of both worlds. Well, okay, where else? Is there anywhere else in your fantasy house? Do you have any other rooms we need to see while we're here?
I did have a bedroom, but
Oh, yeah, take us to your bedroom.
there's not much about the bedroom other than like I want it to be blackout curtains, blinds, whatever you call it. You know, on,
You
like,
are gothic.
You know, like on the holiday where like they have the button and everything just like lifts and then like goes down. Like I want
That's the
that.
fancy house that on the holiday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so you want the buttons, okay.
I refer to books and movies very much, but that's kind of where like the fantasy comes in, right?
Yeah, well, just do it. The media influences your imagination. It's scary and cool at the same time.
The perfect bed. I had a perfect bed when I lived on my own, and then I had to get rid of it because I got married to this dude, and I haven't found the perfect.
Wow, that
bed
sounds
yet.
really bad. Like I made you get rid of your perfect bed.
Well, it was a queen
too
size.
small.
It was a queen size.
You needed a king size.
We both had to get rid of it because
You met your king, and then and I met my queen. We should have a king size and a queen size bed in our house so that the queen can sleep in the queen size and the king can sleep in the king size. I guess if we both had queens, we'd be fine, right?
We have 2 kings right now.
We do, but they're not in the same room. What I was saying was, as a
Oh, I see. I see.
we have 2 kings. We have a king in our kids' room and a king in our room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I would not be sleeping with kids. Our children would be.
You know, in my fantasy house, I'm not co-sleeping anymore.
Nope. I love it, but also I'm like, okay. I'm excited for them to grow up and sleep in their own rooms, and I have my own bed.
It's funny how it takes a toll on you. Like, it's like you want to do so much for your kids, but you're also just like, I also don't want to sleep in a bed with them.
Yeah. I'm sure there's people listening that are like, oh, you motherfuckers are co-sleeping. But yes, that is the one thing that I decided to do that I never thought I would do that always just felt right. So yes, we co-sleep. And I love it and I hate it. So
You love it because?
I love it because I love sleeping next to my babies. I love seeing them asleep. I love when they're sick. I don't have to get out of bed and check on them. Like I could just hear them next to me. But I am excited not to co-sleep because obviously, like I am sandwiched between 2 boys all night long.
I'm not one of them.
And you're not one of them. I do miss sleeping with my husband. Believe it or not.
And he misses sleeping with you, but
yes.
This is co-sleeping and it's best for our kids.
For right now. That's that. I'm not co-sleeping. It's a dark room, a big bed, floofy, and I can cuddle with you.
Is there anywhere comfortable for Smooshy and Sticky to
cats rule the house. Like cats can go wherever they want. They have those walls for cats where they can just like jump on stuff, and you know, have you seen them? They're like a new thing where like people build like shelves for cats like all over the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, our cats, come on. They can be wherever they want.
They're going to be all over.
But they cannot lick themselves and cry when we're sleeping. Like, that's not allowed. So maybe they're not allowed in the bedroom. Any other petal of the house.
But they can't go in the bedroom.
No.
Because they can be... They like to... Bushi likes to... My little cat, he likes to just like stand on my chest and then sit down and lick himself, and he's a loud licker.
Yeah.
And then they meow and walk around. Yeah, too much.
Yeah, no bedroom.
It's been a fantastic fantasy house.
Are you just saying that because I'm your wife?
No, it's been a fantastic fantasy house, babe. This is super exciting having you on and getting to do this. I was like, it's 2020. It's the first episode of the new year. And I was like, this has to be a special one. And I want my love of my life to tell us about her fantasy house. My baby.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. You're so much fun.
Oh, thank you.
And you got really creative and had a cool house. This is great.
All right. I'm glad I did it.
One day, baby, I'm going to give you that giant daisy house you've been wanting.
Oh, daisies are so pretty. Wouldn't that be fun to live in a daisy?
Do you know how much money it's going to cost me to get a daisy house built for you, lady?
Hey, what is that show called that we watched? It was like Crazy Houses. What was that one?
Are you thinking about Grand Design?
Yeah.
There's Grand Design. There's Grand Design, which is the people that build their crazy houses.
Right.
The BBC show. And then there's that other one where
they just go stay at the houses.
it's like, I forget, the guy's an architect and the lady's a designer, or you know what I'm talking about. And they go stay at the houses all over the world. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm thinking of Grand Design where they build it.
They build it.
My Grand Design would be my daisy. So get on that.
Okay, Les. Working for it. Where do you want people to find you?
I have an Instagram, Little Voices of Love. That's something I created that gives you little snippets of, early childhood inspiration and
just quick, right? Like if you cute little pictures and you just go and you'll see like a little quote.
My sister Jessica took most of the pictures, and I would use those because she's a great photographer, and I would use those in conjunction with like great quotes that will help you get little tips and tricks for raising children or elevating childcare, if you will.
It's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
You're the best wife ever. Tinks a bunch. My goofy love. Love you.
Love you.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a fun episode. Happy New Year. I hope you're having a great 2020 so far. And it's the beginning of a decade, too. It's a lot of pressure. I've been noticing that a lot lately. Everyone's like, it's the beginning of a decade. I'm like, man, let's just stick with the year right now. Let's have a great year. Then we'll worry about the other 9. But seriously, guys, thank you for supporting and, all of you guys that communicate with me on Instagram. And it really makes my day and really gives me so much joy and artistic purpose. And I'm stoked. 2020. Hope you guys all have many blessings, a lot of experiences and growth and learning, and the adventure continues for you. And, if you're a new listener, if this is your first time listening, hit the subscribe button, give us a 5-star review. If you've been listening for a while and you've already given us a review, dude, hit the share button, send this to someone. You got to know somebody with a kid. You got to know someone with a kid that could benefit from hearing what Liz had to say, or somebody that could be inspired. If you know someone with a kid, you know someone that could use an extra tip or two, and then, hit that share button. All right, you guys, get out there, be silly, have fun. I feel like a #blessed guest over here. All right.